Surrounding you these desperate days feel all the same. It's uncertain, it's a shame. Time should ease the pain. All around you, hope and change are on the way. I wish for you the best of days. We're barely hanging on. A thread is a tether. Oh, our sacred space, room for fear and room for grace. And every day, through this ache we find a way. We're barely hanging on. A thread is a tether when all your hope is gone. A thread is a tether. A thread is a tether.
All right. Hi, y'all.
Hey.
For those of us joining us live right now, that was the Louisville session of Bridge 19's Tether, and we will play again if you missed it or want to see it again. I am Emily. I'm the artistic producer of Actors Theater of Louisville, and I am with Amanda and Audrey, and I would love for you all to introduce yourselves and also just share a little bit about the creation of this session. We wanted to do these Louisville sessions in this moment just to sort of have a way of collaborating in Louisville and in Kentucky and feature musicians, both as with original compositions, but also with original video composition of what it's like to create in this time. So let me turn it over to you both to hear more about that and just for everyone to meet you.
Sure, I'll go first. My name is Amanda Lucas, and first and foremost, I just want to say thank you to Actors Theater for the opportunity to work on this project. Because of COVID, there hasn't been a lot of opportunity for creativity, at least on Bridge 19 side of things. And so this was really great and kind of forced us to think about, where we were in this moment and kind of how we've, all handled things throughout a pandemic, the first of our lifetime, hopefully the last. And as far as the idea for the song Tether, I know, Audrey and I both work full-time jobs. And when I would go into meetings, I would hear people say, you ask the question, which is a loaded question anymore, of, hey, how are you? And you get barely hanging on by a thread. And at the end of my rope, you get a lot of those, the things that were said. And so I think that kind of was something that I noticed with just seeing people and the way that they were handling things. And so I think that for me was a big, inspiration for the song. And then also, as far as the video piece, I think we all have had to find our places of joy. And right now it can be hard to find. And so for me personally, I found joy in nature. And it's kind of where I've spent the majority of the pandemic, is just exploring the outside world. When you're stuck in a house all the time, I think it really makes you realize just how great it is to be outdoors. And so, I think, Audrey and I both feel that way, and I'll let her kind of chime in to make sure I'm not putting words in her mouth. But, we felt like, a hike showing nature and all of that is just was a really important part of displaying the song and bringing it to life. But again, I don't want to put words in her mouth, so I'll let her kind of take it from here.
Sure. I'm Audrey, by the way. You said introduce yourself. I'm Audrey. And Amanda and I share the, chief songwriting duties for our band. And we both sing, and I play guitar, and we have a couple other fellas in our band too, but this was sort of a duo project, which really brought us kind of back to our roots. We started out performing sort of as an acoustic duo, and things progressed and grew over time. So it was also kind of nice to be invited to do that and to kind of just go in and go back to our roots a little bit and do more of an acoustic duo type thing. But, we talked a lot about, sort of the intersection of COVID and the racial injustice that's happening in our backyard. We wrote this song through that time when it was real heavy, and it's still real heavy. It's going to be real heavy. But, what kind of came up for me a lot is I have a young daughter. And so kind of feeling hopeful for her that maybe some change is happening. And even though we're really uncomfortable right now, hopeful that the world might be improving, her world might be improving, and just hoping that we can leave it better than we found it in a lot of ways. That's was part of the conversation. We talked about a lot of stuff writing this song, because we hadn't done writing in a long time. So it was fun. It was heavy.
And I think it was an important discussion to have. Another part of being secluded is that you don't get to spend as much time with your friends. Audrey and I typically especially with our band in the summers, would travel all over the country playing music. And a lot of the conversations that we have as friends happen in the car at, 2 a.m. or whatever. And so to not be able to have those opportunities this year, I think I've missed just our friendship as far as being able to do that and to connect and bond. And so this was an important, I think, thing for us to have the opportunity to do, because it allowed us to have those discussions of things that are obviously very heavy on everyone's mind right now. And discussions that we would normally have if we were able to travel and play like we normally do. And then the connection piece, I think I mentioned we've played a couple shows recently in front of people, and although they were socially distanced and far away, I know for me, I think I've really missed connecting with an audience and connecting with music. And this gave us the opportunity to do that too. So for that, we're grateful.
Yeah, no, that's what you've created is really wonderful. It was such a surprise receiving it, because I just, I didn't know what you were going to create. And it is. It's like we are socially distant and we're learning how to connect in distant ways. And it's, I don't know that anyone has it figured out, but I certainly felt your presence in creation and in this. And it's cool getting to know you. Frankly, I mean, when would this have happened for me in the old way of Bridge 19? So, so great to meet you both and hear about this. And so I have a question of just like, obviously you have known each other for a while. How did you come to meet, and what is behind the title Bridge 19?
So Audrey and I actually played travel softball together when we were very young, between like 10 and 12, I think is when we started. And we played through our high school days on this traveling softball team. And then we went to opposing colleges and played against one another in college. And during that time, right after college, I was putting together a solo album, and Audrey was putting together a duo record. And we reconnected through MySpace. And through that reconnection, we realized that we were both playing music. And so, she invited me out to one of their shows, and then I invited them to one of my shows. And then we started, playing together a couple times. And then as soon as we did, people wanted us to do that more. And so I kind of played a little bit with her duo. She played some stuff with me on my solo record. But then it just kind of morphed into more of us playing together as a duo. And so for a while, we just went as our names. So we were Amanda Lucas and Audrey Cecil when we would play gigs. And that confused a lot of people. And so they would ask us our band name, and we would say our name, and they were like, no, your band name. And so we were kind of forced to create a band name. And we talked about a lot of names, and we realized that our first gig together was December 7th. And so 12 and 7 is 19, and it was actually near a bridge. So we just went with Bridge 19. So it's kind of a math equation and geographic location of where we played our show. But again, we've been playing together, I guess, since 2007. So it's been quite some time. But again, we've known each other for a good part of our lives. And, it's been really fun to create music with a friend that I've known for so long.
Wow. Yeah, I did. I wouldn't have guessed that that's where the name came from.
What would you have guessed? Was it far more interesting?
I don't know. But your story is probably like how people feel about my tattoos. They want there to be more meaning than there is.
Yeah.
Well, no, I would love to know other people's thoughts on it. So maybe I can change the story to where it's more interesting instead of just math and location.
No, it is a good story.
I find that true with band names a lot. I'm always a little underwhelmed by where people, when you finally learn where somebody got their name from, it's like, oh, that's not quite as deep as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
We just want our artists to be super deep.
Yeah, we're not. We thought of all kinds of names. We would look, and then the thing is, when you come up with a name, you have to Google it, and then you see that somebody else has it, and then there's no website domain available, or there's all kinds that goes into coming up with it, which is why we weren't Bridge 22 or whatever it was that someone else had at one point. So, yeah.
Well, it's distinct. It's memorable. So we will, just to share, we will put on Actors Theater's website, we have a Louisville Sessions section, and we will put Tether up, and then also links to find out about you all. But how do people get to know more about you or follow your work?
Well, we have a website. It's www.bridge19.com. We're on all the socials. So when we do get to play gigs, we're very good about making sure that you know about that. So those are the main ways to find us and to learn more about who we are and find our music and know where we're going to be playing shows if you're interested in coming out.
Cool. Yep. Cool. Thank you. Okay. So then last question before we share Tether again. What other musicians in Kentucky should we be listening to?
Ooh, musicians in Kentucky. Gosh, there's like a billion. All of them. Little Band is great. Little Band just put out a record. That's Danny Flanagan's band. They're amazing. They're kind of singer-songwriter, jam bandy. Look them up. If you go to Danny's Facebook, Danny Flanagan. I don't know if they have their own Facebook or website, but their new record is super fun, super fabulous. Find it. I love Joan Shelley. Everybody loves Joan Shelley. She's amazing. Amanda, you have any?
Yeah, I was going to say our last show of 2019 was opening for Joan Osborne, and Griffeytown played, and I thought they were really fabulous. I loved their harmonies. Carly Johnson has an incredible voice. Obviously, we loved seeing her New Year's Eve. I believe that would have been going into 2019. So 2018, 2019, we saw her play, and that was really, really cool. Villa Muir, we used to see them when we would be playing around town and really enjoyed their music as well. So like Audrey said, there are so many really incredible bands. And I was going to say Little Band. I had a list going. So I was going to say Little Band. And I believe they do have their own Facebook page because I watched they had an online album release like a week ago and I watched it online. So there's tons of good music in Kentucky. And we're just, again, so grateful to be a part of this and able to create this piece of work for Actors Theater. So thank you again for having us.
Find Little Band. They will make you happy. We all need happy right now. They will make you happy.
We do need happy.
Okay, I'll be on their page later. Thank you for sharing all those. Thank you for being part of Louisville Sessions. We're going to play Tether again, and I hope you all, stay well in this time. Have more nature walks as we are getting to do with you right now. And just really glad to meet you both.
Yes. So nice to meet you. Thank you so much. Yes.
Okay, here we go. We're playing Bridge 19's Tether.
Ooh. desperate days feel all the same. It's uncertain, it's a shame. Time should ease the pain. All around you, hope and change are on the way. I wish for you the best of days. We're barely hanging on. A thread is a tether. Oh, our sacred space, room for fear and room for grace. And every day, through this ache we find a way. We're barely hanging on. A thread is a tether when all your hope is gone. A thread is a tether. A thread is a tether. Someday this will be only a memory, just this bittersweet.